Hi everybody, we're going to go ahead and we're going to get started with section 6.1, Polygon Angle Sum Theorem and, for geometry. So we're going to just go ahead and get started here. Okay, we're talking about polygons. Who remembers what polygons are? Remember, they're a shape that is made by straight lines. All right, it's a closed shape created by line segments. So the first thing that you'll see here is asks how many triangles are formed by drawing diagonals from a vertex in a convex octagon. So we're going to start off by just drawing an octagon. I made it too big. There you go. So starting with this octagon, we're going to go ahead and we're going to make a bunch of triangles going from one vertex. So what I mean by that, let's start in this corner right here. I'm going to make a diagonal, a straight line. Look, we have a triangle. I'm going to do another one. There's another triangle. Another triangle. That's not a very good one. Another triangle. And lastly, there's one last one that we can make. So, how many triangles do we see? We have 1, we have 2, we have 3, 4, 5, 6. So how many triangles are formed? Well, the answer to that one would be 6. Now, the next question, it says, what is the interior angle sum for a convex octagon? Well, we see there's 6 triangles, okay? So if we know that there are 6 triangles, and how many degrees are inside of a triangle? I bet everybody just said 180 degrees, right? 180 degrees each. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to do 6 times 180. And that comes out to equal 1,080 degrees. Let me just go ahead and make that look like a degrees. There we go. 1,080 degrees. That is our final answer right there. Okay, let's go ahead and let's move on to this next one. Now, here is a big time theorem. I don't know if you guys can see. Is that in your way? I don't know. You might be not even seeing anything and think I'm talking to nobody. Okay, here is one of the big theorems and formulas that we are going to deal with in this entire section. So I'm going to go ahead and highlight it. If I can remember where I can find a highlighter, there it is. 180 degrees times n minus 2, where n is the number of sides. So in this case, here's an example. There are 7 sides or angles. There are 7 angles in this particular polygon. So if we do 180 times 7 minus 2, that would leave us with 900 degrees, meaning there's 900 degrees inside of that polygon. Okay. Now, if this next one asks, what if you were ever asked to find the measure of one interior angle? Okay, it says an interior angle. That's talking about what if there was only one interior angle. Well, you do the exact same thing. The difference is you would then divide by the number of sides. You divide by n. So 180 times n minus 2 divided by n. And so in this case, we have a pentagon, okay, 5 sides. So 180 times 5 minus 2, in which case you could make that into a 3, okay? 3 minus 2, I'm sorry, 3 times 180, divide that by 5. That would tell us that each of these angles is 108 degrees. Okay, so here's an example. Once again, we have a pentagon, all right? So we saw from the last example that each angle, thank you, I'll look at it in a minute, okay. Each angle is 108 degrees, okay? But we know more so that means that our total is 540 degrees. Okay, so here's what we're going to use that for. We know there's a 90-degree angle and another 90-degree angle, and then 135, 135. So we're going to do 90 plus 90 plus 135 plus 135 plus, we don't know what that last angle is, So we're just going to call that x and say that equals 540. Okay, well, that means if we add up everything else together, we are going to have, let's see, 180 plus 270, that is 450 degrees plus x equals 540. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and move this over. We just combined our like terms, right? So what would our next step be? Our last step? Subtract the 450, and we would end up with x equals 90. X equals 90 degrees would be our final answer. Okay, so going back to this, what we need to do, you need to make sure you figure out what shape it is, how many sides you have, and then we'll use our formula, okay? N minus 2, whoops, I'm sorry, I did that out of order. 180 times n minus 2, in which case this was 180 times 5 minus 2. You don't need to be here. Shape. Okay, which would mean that would leave us with 180 times 3, which is 540. That's where that 540 came from, just in case anyone was still kind of like, wait, where did this number come from? 540, that was right here. Okay, the total is 540 degrees. Red lines everywhere for 540. What is going on? Okay, let's go ahead and let's continue with this. Now, those are all the angles on the inside of a shape. Now we're going to talk about all the exterior angles, okay? Exterior angles, angles that are on the outside. Well, guess what? Here's the good news for you. Whenever you're talking about an exterior angle, no matter what shape it is, I don't care if it's got 1,000 sides, it's going to add up to 360 degrees no matter what. No matter what. Exterior angles, here, I lost my highlighter, there it is. Exterior angles, 360. Why don't you just go ahead and say that like 10 times to yourself after this video is over, because then it'll maybe stick. All right, exterior angles will always add up to 360. So, let's do a couple of examples. What is the interior angle sum of a 17-gon? 17-gon, holy smokes, that'd be crazy. Well, first of all, interior, that's a key word, interior angle. That's the stuff we were just talking about. Okay, that's not 360. Exterior is 360. What we want to talk about interior is our 180 times 17 minus 2, okay? Because it is a 17-gon has 17 sides. So that's like doing 180 times 15, and 180 times 15, that is going to come out to 2,700 degrees. That is a pretty hot oven right there. 2,700 degrees. Okay, but that would be how we do this. So it says, what is the interior angle? Oh, you know what? I missed a word here that's really key. Sum also. When you see the word sum, that wants to total. You're not dividing by anything. Okay, now this one's going to be a little bit trickier. It says each angle of a regular n-gon, we don't know how many sides it has, is 172.8 degrees. So we want to figure out how many sides there are. So we're going to take 180, we're going to take our formula, 180 times, we don't know how many sides, n minus 2, okay, divided by n. That's a couple slides ago. If you need to go back, go ahead and go back. You'll see these on Google Classroom. Okay, but we need to go ahead and use that formula because it says each angle. Okay, there's the key word, each angle. So we need to divide by the number of sides. Equals 172.8. So, okay, you know what? I'm going to fix this because I bet that doesn't look great, does it? Let's do it like this so it makes it look a little bit nicer. Oh, here we go. Okay, here's our formula. Boom, right there. What we need to do is we need to multiply both sides first by n. So times n times n. This is hard to do when I'm not on the board. Okay, but that's going to make these things cancel out. So we're going to have 180 times n minus 2 equals 172.8 n. Now, let's just go ahead and let's move all this stuff right over here. We need to take this stuff and we need to distribute. So it's going to be 180n minus 360 equals 172.8n. Where'd that 360 come from, you ask? Well, I'm glad you asked. We need to take that 180, multiply it by n, and also multiply it by 2. That's where this comes from. Okay, it's getting a little bit little nutty now. So let's go ahead, and what we're going to do next is we want all the n's on the same side. So this 180 got to go. So we're going to subtract 180n from both sides. That's going to leave us with a negative 360 equals negative. Now this one's going to be a little tough one, so go ahead and grab your calculator, but it's going to be a negative 7.2n. Let's move that over so it looks nice. Oh, too much. Sorry. Okay, so that's what we're going to get it. Now, the last thing we have to do is we are going to have to divide. Okay? So, negative 360 divided by negative 7.2. Let's do it. 360 divided by, whoops. What is going on? Sorry about this, everybody. Okay, comes out to 50. So there would be 50 sides on that shape. Okay, takes a little bit of time to get that one done, but that's an important one. Okay, let me take a look at this. We are going to go ahead and skip this last example here. For right now, you will see this filled in on Google Classroom. If you have questions, please let me know. But otherwise, we're going to go ahead and stop this recording right here. And we will, I'll talk to you guys next week unless you have anything that you need to ask, in which case, please, please, please feel free to do so. Okay, have a great day. Make sure you're checking for Google Classroom. Check for either paper assignments or assignments that are on MathXL. All right, you do not have to do both, just whichever one is more convenient for you. All righty, take care, everybody.